Grave Reviews, this is Chris.
Have you trapped the children?
There's no children here. It's not safe for them.
This is Alan, and Chris is right. Grave Reviews is intended for mature audiences. Your discretion is advised. Grave Reviews presents Thursday Night Frights.
Welcome to Grave Reviews. My name is Alan. My co-host tonight is... Introduce yourself, sir.
Hi, I'm Chris, otherwise known as Dragon Buddy.
and also known as the one who helps keep me in line on this show. So, what just happened?
Yeah,
Where'd you go?
I can't keep you in line if you
There
put
you
me
are.
in the back.
Oh my gosh. It has been such a... All right, so
Happy holidays.
getting ready for tonight. My computer did an update. I didn't tell it to. It just did it, right? How they'll do sometimes. I come home from work. I had everything set and ready for the show tonight, and everything was gone. And I had to go in and redo the list and redo the cameras and So if you guys hear us tonight and we're a little off, you'll know why. I'm trying my best to ensure that Chris is the right volume and I'm the right volume and everything else is good. So
Hey,
if you have
listen,
any questions or
are-
comments, please let us know.
We're on the rails. The door is kind of falling off a little. That's all. But we're on the rails.
But we're on it. I don't know if you saw the shop, but Tina says, "Why don't I have a gingerbread man emoticon?"
Right?
This is bullshit, and I agree. It is. What are we talking about tonight, Chris?
We are talking about 2005's The Gingerdead Man, starring Gary Busey and a bunch of people that will probably be in future sequels of The Gingerdead Man.
and nothing else.
Wild. This was a suggestion from one of our Talking Dead.
Yes.
She will remain nameless.
No, she won't. I'm going to call her out.
All right, you did. Yeah, I was just trying to be nice. But
So, literally, as we said last week, it's been a year or more coming for this movie. LG saw the title, was like, hey, you guys have to see this. We need to talk about it on the show. And of course, as we always try to do, we try to listen to our people. For whatever reason, it took us a while. And I think Christmas passed us. So we were like, okay, let's hold this for the Christmas season.
Yeah.
Right. And oh boy, was it
oh boy.
It's a movie.
It is a movie.
It's definitely a movie.
The budget, not much. I was talking, I think they filmed it on a razor.
Yeah.
So we started there. There was a rumor that they offered like Gary Busey like 20 grand or 25 grand for the part, thinking he would just be like, no way. And he was like, yeah, I'll do it. So shit, you got Gary Busey on board. Roll something out quick.
And it's funny because when you watch the movie, he's physically, appearance-wise anyway, only in it for like 5 minutes, if that. And I started this movie twice this year.
Yeah.
And I got exactly 12 and a half minutes in both times and was like, I can't do it. And walked away.
20 minutes in, you're like, I don't know if I still can do this.
No, and I forced myself for the show, LG. I forced myself for you because we love you as a member of the Talking Dead, as a friend. I'm going to tell you that I was angry with you while I was watching this movie.
Listen, Gary Busey is the star of it. Anytime you can get crazy Gary Busey to do something, should be gold. Especially for a script that was supposedly being worked on, shopped around since 2001. So it's not like you didn't have time for this.
I will say any movie that has some great quotes in it, Chris.
Oh
What
yeah.
was the one you sent me today, which I thought was
That
hilarious?
God milk. Yeah, or well, not
What
the
the hell is
Pillsbury
that
fucking Dough
thing?
Man.
Hey, you ready,
Yeah.
Chris? What the hell is that thing?
Not the fucking Pillsbury fucking Doughboy.
I mean, it did have some great quotes in it. You know, when
It
he says, "Now
oh
it's
boy.
time to meet your maker. Prepare to face the butcher baker."
The
It
butcher
had some
baker.
stuff in it that should have been great.
Yeah. Yeah, we had wrestling come in like
Oh, it
somewhere. We had I, okay. There's some glaring things that go on in this little bakery that's going to be taken over by some conglomerate bigwig of this tiny little town.
yes.
Um, I don't know why that storyline had to be in there.
I don't either.
Okay,
Um, but
she's
she's
carrying
pretty
on.
face.
Yeah, um, beginning kind of weird. We get Gary Busey that he's robbing a diner or something. Small family having something to eat. The father gets up, boom, he gets shot. The son stands up, walks over. Gary Busey makes him jump through hoops like a little monkey for a minute, then stabs him in the back a bunch of times.
When he
Leaving
gets all
just the girl alone.
serious, right?
I
He gets all
just
serious, all Gary Busey serious, and
Gary Busey serious? Come on.
he's
Right.
like, "I ain't gonna kill you, but I have to do what my mama always taught me and finish what I started."
Yeah.
I
And
was sitting there going,
what the fuck does that mean? What does that
"What?
mean, sir? Like and then he shoots at her and then he's like, ah, and he runs
Ah!"
away.
It's so bad. Oh my
What
god, it's
so
so
then
bad.
so okay, we jump forward in time. It would have been her brother who dies and her father who dies. It would have been her brother's 21st birthday. We're going to talk about he would have wanted to go to the titty bar.
Yep.
Then she took over this bakery. And this guy's trying to buy the bakery and kick her out of town, but she can't. This place on the inside is gigantic. I
Well,
might
hold
I
on a minute.
add.
Hold on a minute.
On the outside, not so
This
much. On the inside, is huge.
this you're to take that money because $50,000 buys a lot at Walmart.
It buys a lot of Walmart for you too. Think about my offer.
So bad. So
Okay,
yeah, and
I
like you
don't know
said, they had
why
this
that was.
basic storefront with this cavernous
Yeah,
interior.
and then like to the point where there's so many glaring weaknesses in this movie. It's insane.
When when you're
But
in a bakery, small town bakery, and
yeah,
someone's screaming their head off,
by the
literally
mixer.
12 feet away from you, and you're just like, doop a doop a doo, I don't know
How
what's going
big is
on.
this place that people are screaming and but
Yep.
the
Yes.
wrestler can come through all the booby trap doors after seeing them through the windows.
Yep.
There's only windows in the front, and that's questionable.
I have to agree with LG though. When they pulled the one girl out of the walk-in
Oh
fridge,
God.
which wasn't a walk-in fridge, by the way, it was a walk-in oven. Explain that one to me.
Okay, he's
But she
turning
was
her into
covered in
cupcakes.
icing with cherries on her nips. I was rolling.
Oh yeah, that was a good part because that was like the reveal.
Yeah.
Like what the hell did they do to her?
Oh my god.
Okay, so this movie relies heavily on you knowing some movies. Child's
Yes.
Play, good one,
Yes.
because we got
Yes.
voodoo, dark magic that can bring the spirit back. Um, I'll say like even Disney movies with the evil witch, which
Yep.
you had to put two and two together that the witch was his mother and that he was killed after the girl testified and he was cremated and he got her ashes and she put it with the gingerbread mix and then dropped it off at a bakery and they were like, oh, this weird thing that says gingerbread mix must be gingerbread
Grandma's
mix.
gingerbread
Let's
mix.
dump it into a barrel of stuff we're gonna cook. Oh, wait, you cut yourself? Let's hold your hand that is bleeding from a
Over the
razor
mix.
blade over Gary Busey's ashes, and bad things start to happen.
It's
Well,
so
first of all,
bad.
why did you cook the bloody like nobody was like, oh, there's like caked blood in this flour
Yeah,
mix.
we better at least scoop that out, if nothing else, right?
You're worried about a
No, let's
rat?
use it.
I think you got bigger problems than a rat closing this place. Like you are bleeding into a. Who uses a walk-in oven to cook one cookie?
Yeah. Uh,
So, yeah, it relies on these movies that you've seen to be like, okay, the ashes were put in there. The witch knew that she would make him into a batter, probably in the oven. She probably knew that the electricity was going to freak out and it was going to zap the power of uh, Dembala onto the cookie dough, so he will rise again as Crazy Gary Busey.
yeah, they were trying to use a like a Frankenstein reference there with
Yeah.
the wiring and the electricity jumping back and forth behind it, you know.
Yeah, it's like the
Uh,
Tesla coil kind of buzzing back and forth, and you're like, oh, and then the cookie explodes into a giant cookie, Gary Busey,
yep.
who
And then
is
Amos,
able to escape through places with one door,
yeah,
with people at that door.
and he's only this tall, right? Um, it's sort of that. Okay, so you remember back in the '70s, there was
Yeah.
that a trilogy movie that was out, and it had the little Zulu doll that would run around, and I mean,
Oh
it
yeah,
was
yeah,
really
yeah, yeah,
super
yeah, yeah,
scary.
yeah, yeah.
They tried to pull a lot of that in too, but the problem
Yeah.
with that is they show him with the knife behind his back, and he's like, and all of a sudden they're like, "Ah!" and they're
Yeah.
full size.
Right.
It was just, oh
Well,
my
like
god.
the mother, great part in this, where she comes walking over and she's gonna point at at the dough, and then
Mhm.
wonders why she lost her finger because she's gonna poke him like the Pillsbury Doughboy, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Ooh," and cuts her finger off. This part was great because he's like, "Don't you remember my voice?" And it was, it's Millard Findlemeyer, the guy that killed my husband and my son. But
I
she's
loved
drunk,
it.
finished off
Yeah,
a bottle of Jack
and
Daniels,
she
falls into the
wasn't
laundry
there,
basket.
right? And she wasn't there when they died, so how did she know his voice?
I'm guessing because there was a trial. Like, these are mental gymnastics I'm meant to make any
Yeah,
of this make sense.
okay, so hold on. We're talking about a movie where Gary Busey, after severe head trauma,
Hmm,
is voicing a walking, talking gingerbread man, and we're expecting things
homicidal
to make
gingerbread man.
sense. All right, so
The isms through this were great, though.
yes,
The got milk, the Pillsbury
wait a
Doughboy.
minute, save room for dessert because
Right.
I'm coming for you.
Yeah, the eat me. Oh
uh
shit! Don't eat me. You
Don't
can't
eat
eat
me.
me.
You know, hearing Gary Busey say things like "same room for dessert because I'm coming for you" or "eat me," "oh shit, don't eat me," hilarious, absolutely hilarious. But then you had things where Amos was talking to Sarah, or
Right.
was it Amos? I guess
Am
it depends on what time of the
Amos.
movie it was.
Yeah, it's
He's like, "Wait a minute, you mean to tell me?" And she's like, "Oh, I know it sounds crazy, Amos,
Amos.
but I don't know what happened. The
I
only
don't
thing
know.
that makes sense, even in the Twilight Zone kind of sense." And I'm sitting there going, "Why
What
am I watching
when
this?"
the burnout metalhead,
Mhm.
with a revolver that shoots 20 some shots.
I
Um,
was going to get to that.
when he's the voice of reason
Uh-huh.
in a chunk of the movie, you've got glaring issues.
Okay, okay. So my notes, which I don't normally take notes for these, but one thing I wrote down on my notes was how many shots does that revolver have? Question mark.
Yeah, I lost count after 15.
It's funny because it's actually a revolver. It's a 6-shot gun, right?
Yeah, Dirty Harry gun. Totally.
Exactly. And you're watching and you're looking at and you and I both know that in movies, they have a tendency to reload from time to time, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Um, John Wick is the only one that I know of that really is
Oh, he's on them
solid
with
about being sure
the
he's
wrist
reloading, right?
flips and the yeah, yeah, yeah.
But this one, it was like 6 and
You know
at
when they got to
6
like 12,
and
13, they're
6.
like, we're gonna keep shooting too.
And the fact that he had the gun under his shoulder or under his armpit
Yeah.
sticking out. Oh my god. Ugh.
Yeah, these are the moments that are goofy just because it's Gary Busey, like laughing like Beavis and Butthead. Um,
Yeah.
and then to the point where he's killed the guy with the car, he's killed his daughter with a knife. She's already got slashed in the face once, and she found a way to get it in the head. Um, he's killed. We get the wrestler to come back to save the day, who saw them
The,
through the windows, even though they were in the back of this giant warehouse.
the butcher baker.
The butcher baker, he gets to say his thing, and he comes out and he grabs his cookie and he wrestles him down to the ground and just eats him.
Ain't
What could go
that
wrong?
sweet? I saw a sappy love story brewing.
Seriously, you've stuck yourself in a bakery that all the places are booby trapped. Apparently, that's how the girl died, so they can't leave. And yeah, the wrestler comes in, best idea in the world is eats him, and then drinks a gallon of milk, which makes him look really hot to the other girl, which is
Yeah,
funny.
which I don't
And
understand. And the other girl, it's funny. She won Miss Pretty Face. Is that what it was called?
okay, oh yeah,
Right? It
yeah,
was like thrown in your face through the movie a couple times that she
right,
won this beauty pageant. She was
yeah,
Oklahoma's Miss Pretty Face or something real generic.
right.
You see the gingerbread man. Literally, I'm looking to see if I have. I don't. Okay. Anyway, you see him do this with the knife, right? Ugh.
Right.
And all of a sudden, she's like a foot and a half to 2 feet away from him, going, "Ah!"
Yeah, right down the face.
And I was laughing so hard. I was like, "This so fucking stupid."
Gotcha.
And every time I said, "LG,
This
you."
was terrible. It it made no sense. The way it
No.
makes sense, let Tubi roll you into Gingerdead Man 2, the Passion of the Crust. And
That title's awesome.
it's awesome. It can get points for that. And the first like 5 minutes is them explaining everything that happened in one in a way that you're like, okay, yeah, that's what I
Okay.
figured. So, yeah.
Yeah, no.
This was wild. It was dark. It was blurry. It was all over
It
the place with
it
glaring
literal
holes to the point of it's not funny, dude. Like you I
no.
think that was lazy. That was funny, but then you got lazy and then it
Yep.
was funny and it was lazy. It was all over the
I
place.
honestly have had more fun making fun of this movie with you tonight than I did watching it. I was actually angry while I was watching it because it
It's a
was just
tough
like,
watch.
all right,
I've
so I'm
seen
gonna
it
be
before and LG and I riffed on it, like
oh,
kind of half-ass watching it
hold on.
up until this point.
You've watched this movie twice.
Yeah. And I didn't realize how terrible it is watching
It
it
is
by
so
myself.
bad.
Yeah.
So bad. Here's the thing. I would love to say that this was so bad it was good because it had the capability of being that
It did.
way.
Yeah, it
I
had some
would
moments
love
that
to be able to say that, but oh, I cannot.
it's wild. I will give it like where this company goes,
Yes.
as far as Gingerdead Man series, they do an Evil Pong series. It's funny. I can get into it. This
Yes.
jumping point into it is a rough watch because it's not obviously made to be seen through, and
Yeah.
it's aware of itself.
Yeah.
But I think it's also some glaring mistakes in it as well that just make
I
it rough to watch.
think that they tried to lean into it. As I've said, when we
Yeah.
God, I hate to keep bringing this movie up, but when we talk about Zombiever, when we
Yeah.
talk about Thanksgiving, right?
Mm-hmm.
They knew what they were doing and they leaned into it
They went
hard.
hard. Yeah, went into it.
This one, I think they missed. They missed it somehow. I don't know. They were trying to lean into it. Now, I'm going to say this: the main girl in this, the actress who, and
Yeah.
I'm using the actress in air
Robin
quotes here,
Sidney. Yeah.
who was the main girl who survived the beginning. She was actually pretty good,
Not bad.
but everyone around her was literally like, I felt like it was a trauma movie where they went to the bar and looked around and said, "Hey, you want to be in a movie?"
You. Come on.
Right?
Well, I
Because
think
you know
it's,
that
you know what it
trauma
is?
did that.
The script is, it had so many storylines. We had the killing of the father and brother. We had
Yep.
her having to take over a bakery, her
Yep.
being, muscled out by the rich guy of town
Right.
and his daughter. We had never gonna
Mom's an
love
alcoholic.
again. Mom's an alcoholic. Like everything's coming. At one point, she's like giving up. I'm done. And
Yeah.
then has to run away from a gingerbread man that she freaking made trying to kill her, and came to her senses that she doesn't want to run away. She wants to stay.
Yep.
What is going on? And there's a love story because she
Yep.
falls in love with the guy that was with the other girl, but the other
Yep.
girl just keeps him around.
So here's where they made the mistake, right? They did all of that. Let's look at Thanksgiving. Possessed turkey, group of teenagers trying to get
Go
through,
drink beer,
survive the night,
get nookie.
right? Group of
Yeah.
teenagers trying to survive the night, possessed turkey. It was simple and to the point. They tried to do way
There's a
too
lot going
much
on.
with this. They tried to do way more than they were capable of
Yeah,
with this.
and she wants to go back to school to become a nurse, and the doofball is over there. Why don't I just be a surgeon?
Yeah. And I'm sitting there going, you didn't need to even throw the nurse thing in there. The only reason they did that was because the girl that they brought out with the whipped cream and the cherry nips, they had to say, "Oh no, she's okay. She's in shock." I know that because I'm practicing or studying to be a nurse.
Right.
No, they didn't have to do that. They could have just said, "You know what? She's breathing.
She might have
She's
a traumatic brain
alive."
injury. She
Yeah,
got
we
hit with
don't know,
a big
right?
old pan in the head to knock her out.
And they could have literally done a what do you call it? Return of the Living Dead, and been like the ambulance is coming to get her, and then they get attacked by the Gingerdead Man.
No,
Yay!
no, because that would require us going to another bar to hire a couple people.
And they would also require an extra money to be able to rent an ambulance for the night.
Yeah.
Right.
The basic string of this full moon production is decent. I don't care even if you jumped from, well, how does Gary Busey become a cookie? Shut up with some movies, a Gingerdead Man. Like,
Yeah.
we don't care, but everything else doesn't make sense.
Yep.
And
Exactly.
in the end, you're like, you want me to care so much for your main character. I get it, but you put too much into it, and now I
Yep.
don't care.
And it's a full moon production. Kind
You
of.
get what you get, man. I mean,
That
you get what
answers
you
the
get.
question
This
right
one's
there.
not good. I
No.
like the Evil Bong series. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. It made me laugh. This one made me chuckle and angry.
Yeah, it made me angry. And again, I think it was simply because they tried to do too much into it. So on a scale of 1 to 10, Mr. Chris, 10 being this movie transcends the genre, throw that one out.
Transcends my
5 hits all the marks, throw that one out. 1 made me angry that I had to watch this, and it's an hour and 10 minutes of my
hour and
life
10
that I'll never
minutes.
get back. They knew that at least.
Yep.
Where would you put this movie?
Okay, so this transcends my butt. No. No. And I'm Mr. Nice Guy when it comes to rating movies. I'll give you high marks because I enjoy movies. I did
Yep.
not enjoy this movie at all.
No.
I kind of started enjoying the second one because that's even more ridiculous, and I think that worked. at least for the beginning. And no, because you didn't even get the boobs, Lunar Girl. Zero nudity. You had to imagine what was under all of the whipped cream and the cherries
Yep.
baking. So no half point. I'm going hard into this one. It's a 1. It's a 1 for me.
Wow.
I did
I'm
not
going to
like
tell
it.
you, I'm going to surprise you. I'm going to go one higher than that. I'm going to give this one a
Oh,
2.
2?
It did indeed make me angry that I had to watch this movie, LG. You're lucky I love you as much as I do.
Right. Hey,
Um,
it's what we do. We
but
watch movies.
but the quotes alone moved it up 1 mark because the quotes were great, even though they were poorly executed. When you have a gingerbread man going, "Eat me! No, no, don't eat me."
Yeah.
That's funny,
Okay. All
right?
right. I will give it a half point for Buseyisms. So
Exactly, and
one and a
that's where
half
my
for me.
extra point comes from is simply because Gary
There's
Busey's
some
in
funny
this
ones in
flippin'
there. I'll
movie, and
give it.
he is brilliant, brilliant. What did we
He's walking
say?
around giggling and
Uh-huh.
saying some silly stuff. I can't even remember half the stuff he said. That's
I
funny.
would love it if, this would be fun if they would have, like, filmed him doing his parts, because I bet there was
Right.
parts where he was, like, rolling.
Oh, I bet.
I am not a partaker of, the devil's lettuce, but I don't even think that could have helped this movie.
I don't
It
think
was
so.
bad.
The only I think it's it's how it's the experience. If you and I were in the same movie,
Oh,
like same room,
yeah.
we threw this on and we're gonna riff right through it. And we're gonna have a blast
I could
because
see,
of ourselves making stupid funny.
you know,
Where mm,
I could see, like, me and you and a few of our friends, like, renting a theater and watching
oh
this on the
yeah,
big screen and having a blast.
right,
But to
tearing
do
the movie to
ju
shreds.
Oh, yeah, but to just sit there at home, I am so angry with this Lunar Girl person, whoever she happens
Yeah,
to
she's
be,
terrible.
for making me watch this, making me wait a year to watch it, and then going,
The
"Really?
anticipation.
Mm." She's lucky I love her. She is.
It's
Alright,
true.
so that
It's
all
true.
being said, on a scale of 1 to 10, we're at a 1.5, 2 at max. But that doesn't mean that our shit list has to mirror that.
Of course it
Would
doesn't.
you put this in rewatchability and fun
Yeah. Okay.
at 51?
Well, I'm going to say shout out to my youngest for getting me Art the Clown here,
Yes.
Ice Nine Kills collab sweatshirt, and the fact that I see good old Art sitting at the bottom, and you know, it's not his fault that movie sucked,
And it did
but I'm
badly.
wearing this for a reason because Art deserves to be over top of the steaming pile of Busey.
I don't know. I don't
And that says a lot because
know.
which annoyed me, and I gave it a higher rating. And I
Which
think,
annoyed me because it had the capability of being a really freaking cool movie, and they had to get all timey-wimey in the middle of it, and
right?
I'm like, "No!
No, keep
A
your
witch
Doctor Who and your
story set in
Marvel.
medieval times is fucking cool, stick with that!"
This
And
is the Marvel multiverse that popped up and ruined it for us.
oh my
It
god.
had a beginning, it had an end, it hit all the marks. Sure.
I don't know if I hated All Hallows Eve as much or more than Gingerdead Man. I actually think I hated it more. The only reason being is because Gary Busey was fucking funny in a movie that around him. Okay, you ready?
What you
Art
got?
the Clown is known to be horrifying yet enduring.
Right.
Gary Busey is just Gary Busey.
He's over there
I'm
with the buttered
actually
sausage.
putting Gary Busey in front of Art the Clown in this instance because All Hallows Eve was that bad. Time out. What up, Trina? Good to see you. Thank you for coming in. We really appreciate you being here. What
Definitely.
do you think, Trina? Did you see Gingerdead Man, and is it better or worse than All Hallows Eve? Let us know, please.
Yeah, like I said, I just it's funny that I ranked Witch higher than this because Witch really just bothered me because
Hmm.
you mix the streams, man. You never cross the streams for me anyway. This movie was just so I wanted to punch it. I wanted to punch a movie in the face.
All right, I would say that I wanted to eat the Gingerdead Man, except for the fact that I don't like gingerbread.
And by digesting said ginger dead man, you ingest evil and you become evil. And into the effing oven you go.
Thank you, Trina is on my side.
Oh,
Yay,
damn.
Trina!
All right, Busey, we'll give you a step ahead. You
But
don't go at the
barely.
very
And,
bottom.
and when I say barely, I mean barely. I'm going to be honest with you. Let's be honest here.
Honestly.
I would put this movie right there.
Hmm.
I will never ever again watch Horror High. I will never
Well,
ever again watch Witch, and I will never ever again watch All Hallows Eve. If you and I were together, I would watch either Blood Red Sky or Ginger Dead Man.
see, I'm on the point where if we were to sit down and watch, you and I need to watch like Ginger Dead Man 2 and 3 because these movies start off as a ew, don't step in that. We'll go around it. And sometimes have a way of finding some more production value to make it better.
Right.
I would not watch this again. I can't believe I watched this
I,
again.
I wouldn't watch it unless we were watching it together. And
Right.
that's my only caveat, right?
Gotcha.
Even if you and I were together, I would never watch Return to Horror High again.
That's a
I
rough
would look at
movie
you and go, "Are you
yeah, that's
out
a
of your
period
mind?
movie.
Let's pick
Yeah.
something, anything else."
All
But if
right,
you
I could
was to
see your
say to
argument
me,
there.
"Hey, dude,
Absolutely.
let's do Ginger Dead Man. Let's do a marathon," right? I would be like, "Fuck yeah, let's do it,"
We'd
and
have
we'd have a
fun and
blast.
we would have fun and you wouldn't hear the movie because we would be just shooting it because it sets itself up to be riffed.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
I get you there. And you know what? You're right. But if you were like, hey, dude, let's watch Witch and riff on it.
Nah, nah,
No, because there's
no.
hundreds of other movies that we could
Because
choose.
you and I would both go, "That movie made me angry. Why
Yeah,
would I
no.
watch it again?"
Screw you in the
Um,
Marvel universe.
I love the fact that LG is now saying, "I will actually probably never watch this movie again,"
No,
and she's the one who twisted my arm.
right? Because I
All
think,
right.
like I said before, it's the experience. Her and I watched it at one point, and I didn't remember how bad this movie was because
Yep.
we were playing on it. And I
Yep.
don't think I watched the whole thing, but rewatching it again, going, "Oh yeah, this sucks."
I wish that I would have talked my wife into watching this with me because there was nothing in it that would have bothered her one way or the other.
No,
And she and I would have done what you were talking about and been bitching about watching it together and laughing
right,
at each other,
right,
right?
right.
Um, you say Sharknado is the best movie ever made, LG. I don't
Yeah,
need
your
to go
tastes are
any further than
questioned
that.
right from the beginning. Very bad
Sharknado's in the
taste.
middle of our list because we love you. Really, no other reason.
Yeah, it's true.
Uh,
It's
so
a
that
stepping
being
stone
said,
to the other Sharknados, which are fun to
oh
watch in
yeah, two is
groups.
much better than one.
Yeah.
Much better. Um, so are we okay at 48? Is that where we're leaving it?
Yeah,
Below
we can
Blood
leave it
Red
at
Sky?
48 as long as it's down in the bottom 5%, 10%. We're good. 10%.
Okay,
So
fair.
yeah, we're good there. You're right. Return to Horror Highs. I will never watch it again.
No,
It's a period
no.
piece, and
And,
even
and
back
and
in
the
the
fact
theory,
that
it was
they
terrible.
even say, Mar, Nope. The fact that they even say that it stars George Clooney is a fucking crime.
Yeah, it stars him. There he goes. He's just like a shooting star. He's like vroom, right through the.
Yeah, there he went. He had more of a role on Family, not Family Ties. What was the movie about the girls in the school? Babe, help me out here. Mar, if you're watching. The
Girls in
good,
the
the bad,
School.
and there. Oh, Facts of Life. He
Facts of
had a
Life.
bigger role
Oh
on
yeah,
Facts
yeah,
of
yeah.
Life than he did in that
It's
movie.
true. It's true. You just
So
get
bad.
you get a couple face shots, a couple walking shots, and then bye bye Clooney.
Yep. So, all right. We actually have not
Yeah.
even talked about what we're covering next week.
No. New year.
But
New year.
that being said, we are both hoping, fingers crossed, to thank you, Mar. You're absolutely correct. Facts of Life. We're hoping to go see Nosferatu this
Yes.
Sunday. So hopefully next week we can both give you a non-spoiler review, yes or no, because
Yeah.
we will not ever spoil something new,
Not new.
right?
No, give
That's
it.
just not in us.
Let it get to digital. Let it get to streaming services to where you get a chance to watch it without having to spend $20.
Absolutely. So that being said, chat room for next week, right? We've got movies that Chris and I have both seen that are relatively new,
Mhm.
and one that we have not talked about. And I'm just throwing this at Chris. He's not expecting this. We both have brought up Late Night with the Devil, and we
Yep.
have not reviewed it.
Right.
And we've also talked about the Smile series.
Indeed.
Either one of those are good play for next week. If you have a preference, let us know. And who knows,
Definitely.
we may choose something else.
Yeah. Plan is we can get to Terrifier though, or Terrifier. Ah,
No.
it's on my head. You're not gonna watch that one. Nosferatu. Um, really excited about it. I stopped the previews and such a while back. Seen some
Yes.
stills. Looks
Yes.
cool. Kids excited to see it. I'm excited to see it.
LG?
Yeah.
No.
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 No, we will not be
No.
covering that.
No. LG, for those of you who didn't see it, it blew by the chat very quickly. She said, Gingerdead Man versus Evil Bong.
Yeah,
The
Ginger
answer to
Dead Man
that
is
is
in
no.
several of the Evil Bong series. He's like another uh, antagonist. It's
Is it still Gary Busey even that
no,
far in?
he was only in the first one,
Okay.
and it's
Okay. Well, which is why you would
foolish.
not want to watch them because, as we say, Gary Busey is the reason for watching that. The only reason. And that's even a excuse me. Anyway,
Yeah. So
Chris.
LG's in timeout. We're not taking any requests from her for a little bit.
We've had two so far. Trina says she'd like to hear our take on the Smile movies. Trina,
Yeah,
I tell you what, if you promise that you'll try to take a few minutes to stop in, we will absolutely talk about that in the very near future.
definitely.
It's still new enough that I don't want
The second one
to.
just hit Showtime like
Right.
recently, so
I don't want to
we can go
ruin
no
that one for
spoilers
people
for
yet.
that one.
No
Definitely.
spoilers, but yeah. Reach out to me online. We'll talk about it in private. But yeah, that one's definitely on our list once it gets a little bit of age under it.
Yeah,
Um, Thinking about it, I don't want to address that one just yet, if that makes sense.
definitely.
Um, anyway,
Percolate.
Chris, what would you like to tell the people before we sign off tonight?
Yeah, to catch us on all of the socials, you can go to bio.link/graverev. LG is usually good for throwing it in the chat. You can click that link. It'll take you to our bio link where you can see our X, our Gram, our TikTok, our email, our Facebook. Everything's on there, including our merch store. Thursday Night Fright shirts. Um, Very cool brand. I like it.
I do too.
Alan did a good job.
Well, thank you.
Yes. Emails in there. Get in touch with us. Tell us what you'd like us to review if you got an idea. Shoot them out there. We've gotten some things back and forth with a few of the people that have been in the chat, what they'd like to see. And they're definitely on the list on when we can get to them and give you a good
Absolutely.
review. So until then, stay spooky, friends.
Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you coming in tonight. I really do. We laughed and cut up tonight a lot about a really freaking bad movie. But I have to put this out. I'm giving you homework. Trina, LG, Tina, anyone else who's watching right now, we need one more sub. One more. Um, we've been saying for a year now that we were trying to get to 250 so that we can give away some merch.
Some stuff we've
And
neglected.
we really wanted to hit that 250 mark before the end of the year. We're at 249. So if you know anyone who might want to be a part of a fun community where we all love each other and get along and we pick and have fun, whether you like horror or not, please send it out because I would love for our first January 2025 episode be a giveaway episode.
Yeah.
So please, your homework is to get the word out. And that
Share.
being said,
Leave a comment. The comment helps the algorithm get out there. So,
absolutely. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, until we see each other again, as we always say, may your nightmares be groovy. Have a good night, everybody. Love you.